shipping on orders over $50. Hear exclusive stories directly from USL's players at USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. Have you all that it takes to be the experts on USLsoccer.com? Show off your knowledge from the league by picking the right results of the USL's matchups each week of the season. And make sure you cash your vote for the USL Goal of the Week every Monday evening at USLsoccer.com as the vote of the fans' choice for USL Goal of the Year continues throughout the season. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. The USL's official Facebook page brings you the best from across the league with news, highlights, interactive features like the USL on Facebook, and the league's best content delivered to you. United Soccer League and TFC team would like to proudly welcome you Monarch Park for today's match, featuring your Penn FC and your TFC 2. Here are the officials for today's match. The referee is Caroline Chenard. The assistant referee, Chantal Boudreau and Philip Fugit. The fourth official is Yusuf Rudolph. The official time will be kept on the field by the referee. Any additional time on the clock will be indicated by the fourth official on the sideline. Here is today's starting lineup for Penn FC. He's starting goalkeeper number 13, Sean Lewis. The defenders, number 12, Pedro Calvo. Number 22, Harry Hopkins. Number 6, Kyle Venter. And number 80, Hamina Shaibu. The starting midfielders, number 15, Miguel Jaime. Number 21, Calvin Resend. And number 11, Jorge Rivera. The starting strikers, number 24, Prince Mapo. Number 9, Aaron Dennis. And number 29, Tommy Heineman. The head coach of the Michigan Penn FC is Val Voss. Here are today's TFC2 substitutes. Our goalkeeper, number 70, Gianluca Catalano. A defender, number 77, Brandon Antoni. A defender, number 43, Icon Andrews. A midfielder, number 45, Luca Ugello. A midfielder, number 39, Luca Petrasso. A midfielder, number 42, Stephen Yates. And a forward, number 20, Io Akinola.
There isn't a better pair than football and brunch. Welcome to a beautiful morning in Toronto, Ontario, as TFC2 takes on Penn FC at Monarch Park. It's a school day game. 4,000 strong here to enjoy some morning football. Gareth Wheeler alongside former Canadian international Terry Dunfield. This is the fourth different location Toronto FC2 has hosted a home match already this early USL season. And really, this is a good opportunity for TFC2 to start picking up the pace here, Terry. Both teams in need of wins, both near the bottom of the Eastern Conference table.
Which sets up a great clash. Penn FC only played 2 days ago. I think TFC will try to capitalize on that as well.
Penn FC FC did win their first match of the year Friday, a victory over Tampa Bay, and this was your USL match day or week 8 winner for player of the week. Scored a brace in Tommy Heineman.
A real journeyman of the USL. You know exactly what you're going to get from Tommy Hyman. Work rate. He's very good at getting on the end of crosses, and both his goals came from ahead.
Penn has really had a difficult time finding the back of the net. This man right here finally found the back of the net as well. Sean Hundle, 18 years of age, on a different end of his career, but really showed well coming on as a substitute last time out, Terry.
Yeah, great goal. Got to the end of an excellent through ball from Mino. He broke on the scene as just a 16-year-old. He's already played a ton of football at this level. He was held back a little bit last year by a couple of niggly injuries, but he's really looking to kick on this year. He'll play up top as a number 9. He's a complete player wheels. He's got a little bit of everything. He's able to hold the ball up, run in behind. The only thing he needs to really work on for me is just that final action, sticking that ball in the back of the net.
I love how he scores a goal last time out, is rewarded by his manager with a start here today. All to play for. The sun's out, the guns are out, and we're ready to go. It's USL Match Day, and you're watching on ESPN Plus and USLsoccer.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are able, would you please rise, remove your hats, and welcome Ryan Douglas for the singing of both the American and Canadian national anthems.
Welcome back to Toronto, Ontario. It's USL Match Day, an early kickoff here at Monarch Park. It's a school day game. Over 4,000 students in attendance as Toronto FC 2 taking on Penn FC. Penn FC, this is a very difficult stretch, Terry Dunfield. Their third game in 5 days. And a much different looking 11 than we saw Monday against Ottawa in a 1-0 loss. 10 changes to the 11.
But it does give other players an opportunity to step up and stake a claim for their spot in the team.
Goalkeeper Sean Lewis is the only player who retains his spot in the 11. As for TFC2, they're coming off a 2-1 loss to Pittsburgh, and Sean Hundle is going to lead the line after scoring a late goal to cut the deficit to 2-1. Mino, who was very good on the day with the assist, he's not with the team this afternoon, taking his place, and now fit Matthew Serbell.
Mino, he's up with the first team tonight. He'll be part of the squad against the Seattle Sounders later on tonight at 7:30 at BMO. I'm interested to see Waja play, the young Ghanaian. He's going to play in a number 6 role, just sat in front of the back four, and Noble Kell will be pushed up a little bit higher alongside Serbell in the middle of the park.
Serbell scored on the opening match of the season against New York Red Bulls 2. good to have that young player fit again back in the side. It's in the midfield where the group really needs to come together, don't they?
Yeah, Serbo's a real two-way player in the middle of the park, and he had an excellent start to this season. He's got goals in his game. He also brings a little bit of a physical presence, Wheels.
As you take a look at the Eastern Conference standings, Penn FC, their lone victory of the season coming last Friday night against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, a 3-0 victory. Tommy Heineman is your USL Player of the Week. He scored 2 goals on that day, but this is the Penn FC team, Terry, who's really struggled to find the back of the net. Just 5 goals in 7 matches played.
And I think that's something TFC have to try to take advantage of, and it's important that they start well. They only played 2 days ago. I really hope TFC are able to push that tempo. It's a different playing surface. It's turf. It's a little bit pebbly here, and I think it's something that TFC could really take advantage of, the energy in the crowd and home field advantage.
Laurent Guyot, the head coach of Toronto FC 2, has really sung the praises of his group, how they've responded. It's generally the start of games, not starting quickly enough. In their last time out, conceded 2 goals in the first 35 minutes. After that, they look to be the better side, but that's typically some of the battles you need to face when having such a young team.
I think on the whole, Laurent Guyot will be happy with the squad, but it's just small details that are letting the group down, and they're really being punished for at this level. Laurent Guyot, he stepped up from head of the academy role. He's now combining head academy and also USL head coach.
Penn FC, like we said, I mean, it's been a very difficult week. Their head coach, Raoul Voss, sent off last time out after conceding against Ottawa Fury. So they don't have their manager today. It's a very different looking team, Terry. But it's kind of life in professional football, is it? You just need to take advantage of the opportunities that present themselves.
Just go out, play, enjoy the occasion. It's way better than training, playing a game like this. Definitely it will be a hurt not having your head coach Voss with the group today. Voss was appealing a late goal that Penn FC conceded against Ottawa. It came off a corner kick, and he was arguing that Lewis was pushed. I've looked at it a few times, and I think when Voss looks at it as well, there wasn't a whole bunch in it, and it's a goal that should have stand for Ottawa.
They'd, of course, prefer to be on the field. There's nowhere I'd rather be than calling a football match at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday afternoon. For these school kids that are out here, I mean, way better than class.
Yeah, and hopefully a couple of these school kids, or more than a couple, get sort of addicted to soccer. They come watch a game and say, yeah, you know what? I want a little bit of this. I want to go kick a ball this afternoon. And hopefully we see some future TFC players, TFC fans, and what a great day for it as well.
It's a good atmosphere, really. The kids are up for it. A lot of TFC2 supporters here in earnest as well, so it's going to make for a lively affair here this morning into this afternoon.
I also like to see football or soccer brought back into the community as well. Monarch Park right in the middle of the Toronto GTA, and it's great to see a little bit of an older facility in Monarch Park being utilized, and I think it's a great venue, and big congratulations to everybody that's helped put this game on, and on real short notice.
There are celebrities in this area of the city, none other than Penny Alexiak, gold medal, multiple gold medal winning Canadian Olympian swimmer, goes to the high school right in the background there. Still goes to that high school.
Incredible, I love it.
So,
and you live pretty close to here as well.
I can see my house from our broadcast position, no word of a lie.
House value going up today.
Oh, well, absolutely. Typically, this field is used for community use. There's a bubble over it in the wintertime, so it can be used for soccer, obviously training with the track around the field. The bubble just came down over the last 2 weeks, so it's preserved during the wintertime, but well used, as you can see from our position. We'll see how much, if at all, it plays a factor today,
I think
Terry.
It should make for a pretty quick game. The turf blades actually aren't that high, so it'll be a little bit bumpy, but the pace of the ball should be quite slick over top of it.
And we're underway here from Monarch Park, about 18 degrees Celsius. Just simply put, a beautiful, spectacular morning for football. Shebu with the long throw to get things going here at Monarch Park. The ball played down the left-hand side. This player wearing number 9, Aaron Dennis. 3 starts on the season. Galvao gets in behind the back line, gets past Kubel as Robert Boskovic heading it clear. Wajang, very clever touch over top. Didn't get the start last time out. He really missed his influence in the middle of the park for TFC2.
Yeah, a real industrious player, two-way player as well. He's able to defend, as we saw there, and then break from that midfield position and keep that ball.
Searching ball didn't come off there for Matthew Serbal. Shaibu puts his foot on the ball. First touch for Harry Hawkins, the Englishman. Poor touch, good pressure by the captain today, Aiden Daniels.
I like that from Aiden Daniels. Hawkins was just dwelling on it a little bit. He waited for that cue, and that press from the front really can set that team off.
Toronto FC too looking for their first win of the season. Youngest team in USL, and when you're so young comes with growing pains. Sean Hundle gets in behind Hawkins, behind the back line, plays it through the 6. Johnson sensationally puts it over the bar. A glorious goal-scoring opportunity here right at the beginning of this match.
Malik Johnson will want that one back. I think maybe it just bobbles up on him. Hawkins again caught flat-footed. Hundo capitalizes on that great unselfish square ball across the box to Malik Johnson. He's just got to keep his head over top of that ball. Maybe skips up a little bit, but at minimum, Wheels, you've got to hit the target from there.
Absolutely. Lively start for TFC too. Simply put, you got to get your nose over the ball. You saw it bounce, took a little bit of a skip and a hop through the 6-yard box. Just got to get your body over and get it on target.
Great to see TFC2 really pushing the tempo. 2 great pressing opportunities already.
Well, here they come the other way. It's Galveo putting pressure on combination of Daniels and Tim Kubel, the 28th overall pick in last year's MLS Super Draft.
We've already seen it twice. Galveo, he loves to bomb forward from that left back roll. He's almost given license to do it, and he's got a little bit of a wand of a left foot. He can deliver if he gets into good positions.
Miguel Jamie coming deep. This formation looks rather fluid for Penn FC. We'll see how it all shakes down. Wonderful run through the middle of the park by Bafo. Galveo. Kubel stands him up well. Good help from Daniels.
The service from Galveo, that's what Tommy Heineman feeds off of. He loves those crosses to get on the end of. Tommy Heineman actually started the season, was hoping to with Cincinnati, but failed a medical, and just recently came over to Penn FC, and I think his experience, knowledge of the league, and then also just being a focal point up front will be important for Penn FC.
Good ball through the middle, finds Dennis. He's got a couple options. It's to Shaibu, the right back. Venter, one of 3 Penn FC players to score a goal this season. Good ball into the middle of the park, good patience.
Yeah, the movement's excellent in midfield from Penn FC already. On a tricky surface, playing out of the back nicely so far.
Free kick coming up. It's those wasted opportunities, Terry. Just Malik Johnson in the 2nd minute. I mean, it's kind of symbolic of how TFC2 season's been going to a certain degree. Just missed opportunities, not being able to capitalize.
I think you'd be really worried if you weren't creating opportunities. So head coach Laurent Gaillot will be happy with that, but you need to stick them away. Also, conceding needless free kicks like this puts your team under a little bit of pressure that you don't need to be under. Penn FC is a very big side.
Galveo, service to the near post. Went over the head of Noble Okello.
I think Tommy Heineman needs to go with his head there. If he throws everything at it, goes for a diving header, I think maybe he gets on the end of that great ball from Galveo.
The goalkeeper carousel continues for TFC2. It's Angelo Cavalluzzo's turn. It's reassuring when you have 2 top goalkeepers. Here's Heineman after some good pressure on the ball. Well done, Julian Dunn. Elijah Kubel under pressure. Difficult ball. Alex chooses safety there, Terry.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Don't take any risk, especially in the first 5-10 minutes. Might have been able to find Matty Serbal in between the lines there. He took up a nice position.
Hawkins to Heineman. He's wearing the captain's armband today. Jamie. Well done by Bjornathan. Serbal. Soft touch on the ball. This is where you can find some joy down the wings. Malik Johnson on the trot. Serbal.
Nice double team from Penn FC. I like how Matty Serbal helped TFC play out of the back there and then just left Malik Johnson 1v1. A little bit exposed isolated in that situation out wide. Unfortunately for TFC, Penn FC defended it well and double-teamed him nicely.
Dennis Heineman right in between the two Toronto FC defenders. All kinds of contact. The referee saying, get up, son. If anything, that was a foul on Heineman. Instead of referee, proper decision, allows it to go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I thought that was shoulder to shoulder. Heineman was looking to just get ahead of Tim Krubel, but Krubel does enough. Nice change of pace from him. Not a whole bunch in it. I think the referee gets this spot on. If Heineman's able to get just in front of him, it might be a different scenario.
He was doing the front stroke there. Caught him with the left arm. Crafty play, though, by Heineman, putting it right between two defenders, trying to make some space for himself.
It's also, not only is he a journeyman at this level, he's won trophies as well. He brings a winning mentality to Penn FC. In 2017, he won the NASL title with San Francisco.
It's a really interesting formation here because Galvao's listed as a typical left back. He pushes forward with Jamie dropping deep, and all kinds of movement and rotation in this 11 for Penn FC.
He had Dennis, the left side of the front three. He just drifts inside as well, and he almost opens up this channel for Galvao to get forward.
I really like the movement from the visitors here.
A little bit like Justin Morrow with TFC's first team.
Sure.
How he's given license to really get
But the
forward.
way that the center midfielder, Miguel Jamie, drops in.
Yeah, and it's not just Jamie at times. Various midfielders drop in. It's difficult to mark. The movement's excellent in the middle of the park for Penn FC so far.
Hawkins steps in. Jorge Rivera got a touch on the ball. What do you make of how the surface is playing thus far, Terry?
Quick, a little bit bumpy. I think Penn FC so far have been very brave trying to play out of it. You can see TFC2 are just sitting back. Great diagonal.
Wonderful ball by Venter. Galvao. Krubel stands him up. Elijah did the right thing, called Daniels off, and earns himself a throw-in. Good communication there.
Good defending from Krubel. I just think he needs to find that outlet pass a little bit better. Nice step from Jamie from Penn FC, but so far Penn FC are dictating the tempo of the game, trying to play out of the back, and it's almost as though TFC2 are sitting in the middle block, looking to win it and then break from that shape.
Tim Krubel, as a youngster, spent time in the Borussia Dortmund and Schalke academies in Germany before playing at Louisville.
Yeah, he's been splitting time so far this season. He started the first game of the season against the New York Red Bulls with Oncone. Gets another good opportunity today. He'll enjoy playing in front of a little bit of a crowd.
Like that. Sorry, Terry.
That's what I'm just saying. It's just a steady away, right back. Won't get forward too much. Almost defense first mentality.
Really liked that touch a few moments ago from Hundal. Get a very bright start. Flag goes up. There will be a corner kick. The first one of the match coming up for TFC2. Sean Hundal, you know he's got all the tricks. It's just about showing a little bit more finish. That's why his goal last time out is so important for a young player. Just building that confidence, showing that he can finish inside the 18.
Just adding that sort of urgency, that dynamic side to his game, really putting himself in areas where it's difficult for defenders, where it hurts, getting on the end of things. Just adding goals to his game. As you said, he's got real soft feet, good awareness, understanding of the game.
Aiden Daniels, the captain, arm up, in swinging corner kick, goes near post, ball's free inside the 18. Hundal just couldn't come down with it, just a little bit behind the player, but a dangerous corner kick, well taken by Aiden Daniels.
A real flat ball with tons of whip.
Real difficult to defend.
Yeah, it actually comes off of Tommy Heineman's head at the near post. Just doesn't quite come off for Sean Hundal, isn't able to get his body behind it. Aiden Daniels is one player that's really kicked on this year. For me, probably been TFC2's best player. Real threat every time he gets the ball. Playing with real confidence under Laurent Gaillaud. I think he's enjoying being captain of the side. Traveled with the first team to Colorado as well. Playing in that left side of a front three, I think suits him a little bit better than playing in midfield where he did last season.
Beautiful day here at Monarch Park. Toronto FC staffers are out in attendance. It's the who's who of the Toronto soccer community out here today. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you.
It's a pass to get out of the office.
Yes, no kidding. If you're stuck in the office, thrilled to have you along on ESPN Plus and USLsoccer.com. Galveo, as Dennis takes a tumble, closed down by Kubel, wants a handball. Handball given, free kick coming up, dangerous spot for Penn FC.
Yeah, great angle for Penn FC to put the ball into box, deliver from here. Tim Kubel does really well to get out, be brave, and try to defend an early ball into the box from Galveo. Difficult one. I don't think that's a natural position. I think the ref gets that right. Either way, it was going to be a corner kick. Doesn't need an invitation, Galveo, to put a ball into the box. It's just touch, deliver. It's great for your front players as well, knowing that a ball is going to come into a box early. Makes it way easier to time your runs.
Cavalluzzo on the post. Real be a two-man wall.
Looks a real high line from TFC2 right now.
Very high line.
Lots
Do you like that, Terry?
I don't. I think you need Nova Kello just a little bit deeper in that space. They struggled to defend the first set piece. I think you need to learn from that. It gives a target for Penn FC to hit it into.
Ball into the area, far post. Oh, it's Boskovic that's there. Gets a big head on that. Corner kick coming up, the first one of the match for
Real
Penn FC.
Important header from Boskovic at the back post. He was 1v3. Just follows the flight line of the ball extremely well.
Well, to your point, that's when you're playing such a high line. You're asking for trouble in behind. If one player doesn't step at the right time.
And it also allows Penn FC to get a real run on the ball as well.
Galveo on a set piece yet again. Arm up in the air. Referee's having a word inside the area. Look at that, Terry. Everyone's inside the 6-yard box. So they spread out a bit. Ball played near post. Waja gets there.
I think they do that because they look at Cavalluzzo. He's 5'10".
Right.
Just whip it right on top of the goalkeeper.
Well, it's unusual. Can't even count the players. How many are just inside the 6-yard box? Trying it again. Near post. Boskovic gets there. Far post. Dennis, good effort. Finds a side netting.
Bjornathan does really well. TFC left back. He's over on the right-hand side. To just cut the angle down from Dennis. I think Dennis might have been better. Looking to try to create something here. Have a touch, create an angle from maybe cut inside or take Bjornathan on 1v1. Just snatches at his shot a little bit.
You see how much of a factor. If you plan on challenging Cavalluzzo, what Toronto FC2 does, they have some big boys in the back with Dunn and Boskovic. So, you know, Kello, there is some size there for TFC2. Kubel, Bjornathan, Waja, great touch by the Ghanaian. Slides it past, here's Malik Johnson. Gets on a great recovery, defensive recovery through the midfield for Penn FC.
Yeah, it just changes his mind, Malik Johnson, a little bit. Waja does excellent to help get the ball to Malik Johnson. Those are the areas you want Malik Johnson on, in between the lines. I think he thought about shooting at the last minute, just took an extra step. Closed down really well by the Penn FC midfield.
I know both these teams have struggled scoring goals on the year, but with this slick surface, it's screaming out for a goal, isn't it, Terry?
Yeah, and then a couple of it's a little bit bobbly anywhere around that box. Just let rip, test goalkeepers. Also by shooting there too, it gets the crowd, the energy up a little bit.
Heinemann, Galveo. And it's good high pressure from Noble Kello. One of the many teenagers in this TFC2 side. Hawkins over the top, Boskovic, shoulder to shoulder.
Boskovic does really that well, and also Cavalluzzo's starting position's excellent. Just sweeper keeper, just picking up that ball.
Through 15 minutes of play here at Monarch Park. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you. Toronto FC 2 looking for win number 1 of the season. Penn FC gonna finish out a difficult week for them. 3 games in 5 days. 1 win and a loss under their belt thus far. Heinemann was screaming for the ball. Rivera refused to give it up. Made the wrong decision, bailed out. Free kick coming up for Penn FC.
Heinemann made his movement's excellent. He's not the quickest, but he'll just peel off shoulders of defenders. Just peeled off of Julian Dunn's shoulder. I don't think he saw it. And then it was a late foul from Noble Akella. Another unnecessary free kick given away. You can see with this surface as well, just going back to it, it just takes an extra touch to control it, which means there's opportunities to press. You can get right in the faces of your opponents, turn the ball over, hopefully in good areas.
Now I've no problem with this TFC2 defensive line being on the 18, Galveo. Venter gets their first done, rises up to win that. Well done by Julian Waija. Oh, lets the ball run. Crafty move. Waija double teamed. That time the defensive player was wary of Waija a few moments ago. Did a nice pullback move to blow past the player. That time just let the ball run on the slick surface.
I thought that was good football intelligence from Waija. He got the ball in a great area, got his head up and realized he was the only TFC2 player there. He was clever, he just held the ball up, won his side of throwing, and now they're still in possession.
Waija working hard in the middle of the park. Like to see that. Someone take the bull by the horn, start pulling the strings to a certain degree.
Especially when you're down at the bottom of the league, you need someone to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, really dictate the tempo. Looking at this Penn FC back line, two big center halves, maybe try to get in behind them.
Yep.
Try to play down the sides of them, threaten that space in behind them, maybe some outside to in runs from either Malik Johnson or Aiden Daniels.
Bell. Johnson. Back on the foot of Serbell. Well organized Penn FC back line. Oh, that's a difficult call. I believe that was Jamie with the challenge.
Yeah, just one too many touch for Matty Serbell.
Good defending, actually, in fairness.
Yeah, very good defending from Jamie in the middle of the park. He's done it a couple of times. He's broken up play. It's a little bit slow as well to run with the ball on this surface. Just pass and move, pass and move. Might be your best way through.
Sorry, Terry, chopped down there. Referee's gonna have a word with Prince Buffo. Hardly princely-like behavior right there. Sorry, Terry. They just come out of my mouth.
I've noticed.
I have zero self-control. Okello, Bjornathan. Done his... This game's settling in a little bit here in the 19th minute of play. Okello looked to be taken down by Rivero, but he stays on the ball. No call, referee allows play to continue. Prince Buffo tries to play it through the 6. TFC, two players having a word with the referee. I mean, in fairness, the referee took a tumble as well on the turf.
I thought the back three, it was a straight ball into midfield. Okello loses it. It wasn't the best ball into. It might have been a foul, but I thought the back three then defended a 4v3 extremely well, dropped back and delayed.
Galveo, in swinging corner kick coming. Again, all the Penn FC players inside the 6. Challenging Cavalluzzo, and Serbell's there to clear that out for another Penn FC corner kick, number 4 of the match for the visitors. Corner kick comes in. Okello gets there first, and I'll tell you what, Aaron Dennis is just loving peeling off to this far post with the chaos playing out in front of him and just trying to take advantage. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Big header won by Hawkins.
Yeah, I think Cavalluzzo needs to kick to the fullbacks, not right up the pipe to the two big center halves.
Daniels, great touch pass. Galveo trying to put Hawkins on the platter. He does it once, tries to do it twice. Out to Waija. Good pressure from TFC2. Serbell, heavy touch.
Oh, Waija needed to stay out wide here. Kubel's made a great overlap.
Kubel just a little bit overcooked.
Aiden Daniels is so frustrating with wide players. He does great to create that 1v1, but there has to be an end product at the end of that.
So you beat him once, and then you just need to have a strike, just force the goalkeeper to make a save.
Strike across. There's got to be something at the end of that great play. Great first touch to create that scenario from Aiden Daniels. And then on the second phase, the ball came to Waja. Kubel made a great overlap. Instead, he tries to come inside, play a square ball. I think Kubel's got to scream, demand that he gets that ball. I don't think Waja saw him.
Buffo touches it to Okello, and here comes Malik Johnson. Look at the pace. Hundle in behind the back line, needs to stay onside. Johnson looking for options, finds Waja. Okello. Good recovery runs from Penn FC.
I think it's important, too, with Penn FC almost playing a front three, that the two fullbacks for TFC2 release themselves. By doing that, they might not get it, but it makes the front three of Penn FC track back wheel.
I agree. They're playing a little bit safe, aren't they, Terry? So taking another look at Aiden Daniels and the threat coming down this right-hand side. Not the first time in the match TFC2 have taken advantage. Daniels, look at this, makes a little whoop. Does him right here, and then he tries to bring it back the other way. Once you had it inside, have it on your left foot, have a go.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too in front of him. I think that's why he doesn't take it on with his left foot. Needs the ball shifted a little bit more to the side, but even go for a toe poke there, Wheels. But for me, it all comes from that positive first touch around the Penn FC player at the start of the action.
Then this right-hand side looks like a place Penn FC can be exposed as Galveo pushes forward. It's going to open up some space. Boskovic, 6'3", big boy at the back. Hundle couldn't come up with that. It's 1v2 up front as Sean Hundle is being marked at the game, almost needs to find a way to get in behind the back line, stretch the defense so when he comes for the short ball that there's something on.
I think he just needs to almost be patient at times and just occupy the two center halves, let the play develop.
Yellow card given to Malik Johnson, little cheeky play. Look at this great crowd here on a Wednesday afternoon. If you're watching from afar, spring has been a long time coming to the Toronto area. Great to see so many students and schools across the GTA allowing and being willing to have their students exposed to some top-class football being played here this afternoon.
I absolutely love it, and I've been fortunate enough, Wheels, to call TFC2 games for the past 3 seasons, and I think this is the best atmosphere I've seen at a TFC2 game. Just incredible, and if you're a young student at the game today, how can you not want more of this?
Daniels, good touch. Here we go on the run. He had Surbel to his left, goes to Hundle on his right. Makes a move, Hawkins all over him, on top of the 6. Okello with a chance, good strike. Hundle still, the flag goes up, he is in an offside position. A lot of positive there for Toronto FC, but the finish not quite on point. Thought that Aiden Daniels would have been better off choosing the option to his left, instead he went right.
Yeah, in the end it comes to Sean Hundle. He finds himself in a nice little 1v1 situation in the box, takes it to the outside, looks to cut it back for Malik Johnson, doesn't quite come to him, and you see it here come to the right-hand side to Sean Hundle. 1v1, just drops his shoulder, comes out wide, cuts it back. Penn FC's positioning is excellent. Malik Johnson's there, and then Nobukello's good strike from distance. Unfortunately, Sean Hundle's offside on the ricochet.
You didn't see in that shot some great camera work there, but you didn't see it on the left-hand side. Surbel had that run inside the 6. Looked like he was getting in behind the back line.
Makes some great.
He chose the safe option, didn't he, right there?
Matty Sorbel makes some great runs from deep from midfield at times. It was a safer pass, I agree.
Rivero inside the 18, far post. Dennis. Crossover does in Bjornathan, but good effort by Bjornathan to stay with it.
Tricky customer, Dennis. He's found himself in some good pockets of space, and the ball finding its way to him, maybe a little bit unconventionally at times, but showed good feet for a big man there, twisting and turning, and Bjornathan does well to just stick with him. Some real last-ditch defending.
Galveo take this corner kick as well as the pressure
These are
mounts
some
on TFC2.
nasty in-swinging corners.
The 6-yard box again. Some pushing and shoving.
In fairness to these in-swinging corners, TFC2 have defended them quite well.
Hear exclusive stories directly from the USL's players and USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives.
Interesting.
We should do former players' lives as well, Terry. Would you be willing to open up your world to the viewing and listening millions?
From when my day starts at 7:30 till 10.
There's too many skeletons in that closet to reveal.
That's a graveyard name.
Kubel to Daniels. Good ball inside the 18.
Might have been a little bit of a tug on Johnson's shirt there. I think if you don't want players to go down, but if he goes down there, I think he gives the referee a decision to make. Great ball from Aiden Daniels.
Good move by Okello. Flag goes up. Throwing coming up deep. Down the Penn end. Love it right by the sign in the background. The future is bright. Absolutely. Not only for the players on the field, but the students in attendance.
It's like the south end at BMO.
It is. Beautiful. Great shot there. Great look. Kubel into the 18. Kello just couldn't get enough of that.
First time I've seen the Kubel long throw. I think that's
effective.
A threat. Yeah. Because it's so flat, it's tough to defend. And I think Noble Kello could have done a little bit better there. He needs to just get a little bit more on his flick on at the near post.
Well, he's earned TFC2 a corner kick. Aiden Daniels is going to be an out-swinging kick. Dunn's moved forward. Okello's forward. Boscovich is up. Disappointing when you can't get it past the first defender. Waj under all kinds of pressure. Kubel direct, right back in. Flag goes up. Noble Okello offside.
I'm not sure he was offside there.
Didn't look it to me.
No, I think Malik Johnson might have been offside and Sean Hundo, but maybe they were affecting the play. Real gray area in football right now. I'm glad there's not VAR here.
You can be our own personalized VAR. How does that? TAR. Terry assistant referee.
Should I talk like this? No.
Bjornathan. Nice work by Johnson. He's taken down.
I think there's a place for VAR in our game. I just think the subjective calls is where VAR is struggling right now. And at the moment, and we've been harping on about this for the last 5-6 weeks, is referees are starting to use VAR as just a little bit of as a crutch to not make that decisive call. And it's tough for fans as well. What is going to be VAR? And there's so much emotion in the game, and I don't like all the start-stops. And
right.
My VAR rant's over.
Well, a free kick coming up. Perfect timing. Kello's moved forward. Dunn's moved forward again. Boscovich, all 6'3" of them up forward as well.
Have to miss Tommy Heineman at the near post.
See if Daniels can do better. Good ball to back post. It's Lewis there on the take. Hundle, Dunn just couldn't get there in time.
I think that's a great ball from Aiden Daniels.
So
if you look where Lewis catches it, he catches it right in his mid-drift. I think if you really want to get on the end of it, there's an opportunity for you there. Sometimes it hurts to score goals, but you need to throw a body on the end of it there. Take a chance, gamble. What a ball from Aiden Daniels.
Ball played over the top. Heineman on the run. Boscovich just gets his foot on it just in time.
Boscovich is going to Ryerson University right now, combining football with his school as well, but real steady away center half. He's comfortable on the ball. Great left foot. His positioning's excellent as well.
Dennis left his foot in there on Boscovich there.
Yeah. It's a late one. We're going to take a look at this in-swinging free kick from Aiden Daniels. Just have a look at where Lewis catches this ball. When you catch it in his midriff there, there's opportunities for strikers, attacking players, even defenders up from the back to try to get across and attack the flight line of that ball.
Kubel does well. Like that ball to Malik Johnson. Hundle gets a touch inside the 18. He had a man, he had Johnson there waiting for it. Much better for TFC2. I like not settling just for that square, safe ball. Instead, Kubel really testing the back line.
Yeah, I'd like to see Malik Johnson's run dictate the pass, whereas the pass dictated the run there.
Right.
Sean Hundle did excellent to repress, pick up a second ball, and just on the playing surface, I think it showed there. It just wouldn't settle for him. Might have been better to just cut it back to Malik Johnson. Couldn't get a strike off.
Good defending down this right-hand side for TFC2. Good switch, better switch. Venter. There's multiple options.
I think Venter here needs to look to play in behind like that.
Some work to do for Shaibu. Nasty spin, looked like it was going out.
A little bit of English on that ball.
Well, a little English, Scottish, Irish. We cover all the British Isles. That's what happens when you see this pebbly surface.
In Vancouver, Whitecaps' first season in MLS, we played at Empire. It was real pebbly there. Tough on your joints as well, tough on your muscles. It's always the next day my calves were aching. So the surface isn't too hard, it's a little bit soft, but the next day it creeps up on you a little bit.
Kubel. Well done by Serbell to get ahead to it. Bjornathan called for the foul on Shaibu. Another good opportunity for Penn FC to get the ball forward inside the 18-yard box. Challenge Cavalluzzo. Yeah, hasn't had much to do here.
Oh, the first 5 minutes, Galveo looked a real threat, bombing forward down this left-hand side. That's kind of petered out a little bit. If Penn FC are going to score, it looks as though it might be through a set piece at the moment. You can see defensively TFC2 are letting the two center halves of Penn FC get on the ball.
Galveo inside the 18. Dunn and Okello were right there, and Buffon not even close.
A little bit audacious from Buffon.
The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live games, updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Malik Johnson pulls it back. An orthodox challenge there by Dennis, albeit effective. Not enough cutting edge being shown by TFC in the attacking third.
Yeah, we spoke about it in our open. You've got to be dynamic with your movements. There's got to be a real tempo in that final third. Malik Johnson didn't see a whole bunch on, but make something happen. Drive at a defender. Just change the picture, unbalance the back line. Something will happen. To be fair, Penn FC's back line delayed well, which allowed their midfielders and defenders to get back into shape. But I think Malik Johnson, he's got the ability as well to try to go make something happen, be creative.
Very evenly played thus far, Terry. Let's be honest. What are you looking here over the last 10 minutes and time added on here in the first half of play?
I think Penn FC started well. The first 5 minutes, TFC sort of saw off that threat, and they gradually sort of came into the game. Been impressed with Waja in midfield, and I feel like anytime Aiden Daniels gets on that ball, something's going to happen. And I feel that up top, there's commitment from Sean Hundle.
Good spin by Serbell twice. Waja weighs his options, goes wide right. Kubel bravely coming forward. Again tries to play it in behind the back line.
It's only small distances there, but I think Kubel could even be 5 yards wider, just making that pitch a little bit bigger when you're in possession, which opens up gaps. There's a lot of density in this Penn FC side defensively.
Good step pass by Boscovich, tries to find Hundle, cut down by Venter.
He's engaged today, Sean Hundle. He's hungry.
Good effort by Dunn to try to pick out Bjornathan. Free kick coming up for TFC2.
I think maybe TFC2 could just see where Matty Sorbel's fouled there. Wheels. place the ball, hand on.
And just pick it up.
Yeah,
start playing.
You know, push the tempo. This is the third game in 5 days. I know there's a lot of changes today for this Penn FC team, but it's hot. Just keep that tempo going, keep that ball in play.
Done. Nowhere for Daniels to go. Easy take from Lewis.
Yeah, it was a good run from Wajda, and Boskovic tries to play in behind. He mishits it a little bit into Lewis, but that run from Wajda actually created space for Sean Hundle to get it into his feet. Boskovic would have seen that.
Heinemann, that's crafty by the veteran player, just feeling that contact going down and getting the free kick.
So wily, real smart striker, knows this league extremely well. I had a training stint in Vancouver, and he was actually with the Vancouver Whitecaps for a little bit. Martin Rennie brought him in, and his knees weren't great at the time, and he was thinking it might have been the end of the road, but he's 5-6 years on from there. He's at a very good career in the USL, NASL. Played a lot of football. Managers love players which you know what you're gonna get from them.
Dennis took that for a change. Might go back to Galvao next time. Easy take for Cavalluzzo.
I thought TFC's defenders blocked the runs of Penn FC extremely well there.
Kello. Wajda.
The only problem with Tommy Heinemann is you're not going to get 3 games in 5 days out of him, so you've got to be a little bit selective when you play him.
Didn't play in the one they lost to the Ottawa Fury, coming off his USL Player of the Week honors. Johnson misses his mark, and Hundell. Prince.
It's the right idea from Malik Johnson. It's good awareness to see where the space was, let the ball run into it. Just looking to combine off Sean Hundell. Only thing lacking was the execution of the pass.
It's got to be a foul. Nothing giving. Shaibu came straight from behind on Malik Johnson. Somehow, someway, Malik Johnson's called for a foul.
How does that go the other way? Oh, I know it's a home broadcast, but come on.
Heavy touch by Hawkins. Enter Cavalluzzo outside of his 18, comes to take. Pitch seems a little bit short, Terry, in terms of length, not a whole lot of space.
Yeah, the turf blades are quite low. It's had a lot of action, this Monarch pitch, which has led to a couple bumpy moments. You really need to concentrate on that first touch. They'd play a little bit better if they were able to water the pitch.
Boskovic over the top. Johnson, keep it in?
I actually prefer this pitch to the Ontario Soccer Centre, where TFC had played out their home games for the past couple of seasons. The longer blade of AstroTurf makes for real a slow game, and it just sucked any energy out of your passes.
For whatever reason, up at the Ontario Soccer Center, the wind always seems to be blowing. Very calm conditions down here, much closer to the lake. We're just about a 10-minute walk from Lake Ontario.
Not a bad location to live, is it?
Beautiful.
Big time, aren't you?
Done. Keller was there as well. Both teams, neither team.
You know, when you were talking about a celebrity in the open living nearby,
Penny Alexiak.
I thought you were talking about yourself in the fourth person somehow. Not that you do that.
I'm
You're very
recognizable in my neighborhood.
Only because of the Bulldog.
Yes, yes. Both teams struggling just to get a foot on this match, Terry. A little bit of back and forth here. It's like table tennis. Ball played over the top, flag goes up. Good call, Ribeiro is offside. No need for that. Yeah, he's going to have a word.
Both teams looking to attack with each possession rather than maybe just keeping the ball a little bit, putting a couple of passes together.
Well, Rivero goes into the referee's book.
Yeah, no need for that.
It's one of those, if you come up with a 50-50 challenge that goes wrong later on, you kick yourself for such a silly...
Yeah, you have to make a professional foul and pull somebody back and stop a counterattack.
So Rivera in the book in the 41st minute.
I think too, when you're at both sides are at the bottom of the league right now. After that first 10 minutes, both sides are just a little bit cautious. Don't want to commit too many bodies forward. Good header from Dunn.
Kello, those arms and legs seem like they go on for days.
I think after having seen the first almost 42 minutes, whichever side's braver and really goes for the win, I think we'll get the 3 points.
That's what it's screaming out for, right? I like that word, like bravery. Sometimes you need to take some chances. You need to force the issue, especially when both teams are playing very safe. And I think decent defensive teams, both of them on this year, Terry. It's scoring goals. It's the attacking perspective, which has been a problem. Hundle went high, and this was a dangerous play by Sean Hundle. A card will come out, and the stretcher's going to come out as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's any intent at first look from Sean Hundle. He's competing. His eyes are on the ball. Might have caught him with an elbow. But with Tommy Heineman up top, I think you can be brave and see a red card.
Sean Hundle is being sent off for a dangerous play, and TFC 2 down to 10 men here in the 43rd minute. Of greater concern,
I know Sean Hundle, he's a good lad. There won't have been anything malicious in this.
I believe it's Shaibu down on the field. We're going to take another look. Terry, what do you see?
Yeah, he just catches him with his elbow, maybe a little bit of forearm. I think he's going up just to protect himself. But definitely does catch him.
Let's take another look as Laurent Guyot's team is down to 10 men.
Unfortunately, these things happen more so often when you're at the bottom of the league.
That's a dangerous play, leaving that elbow up high. You need to lead with your head, and Shaibu, I mean, we hope he's okay. He has to be moving down here on the field. This is not what you like to see, and you're right, Hundle's an honest lad, but
yeah, I think both have eyes for the ball, and they're both competing. And Shaibu, he's going for the ball as well, and just goes right into Sean Hundle's forearm or elbow.
Haruna Shaibu remains down on the field. Difficult to watch as the stretcher comes out.
Yeah, right in front of the fourth official and linesman on the opposite side.
And the sending off or no sending off, I mean, you just wish well for the player in a moment like this, Terry. Very difficult to see.
I think it's just frustrating because you could see it in Laurent Guyot's body language. It wasn't... There was no intent from Sean Hundle, and I think when Laurent Guyot sees it again, you can see why the red card's given. It's the last thing you need when you're looking for your first win of the season. TFC 2 have had an excellent start to the year, but you can't raise your elbow like this, and I don't think it's in a natural position there. I know he's protecting himself, but it is dangerous play.
Well, Haruna Shaibu is up on his feet. That's good to see. Wasn't moving for quite some time there, and
yeah, Shaibu's one of the players. He's come over from Penn FC, have a connection with the Ghanaian academy. Real hotbed for players, Ghana.
Well, he's gonna have to come off the park. There's no way he can just come back on in a moment like this after being out like this, especially anything to do with the head.
No, I'm sure he'll have to go through concussion protocol before he can step onto the pitch, which rightfully so is. That protocol's in place for a reason, and you have to protect your young players as much as you want to go on and play. And I remember 10 years ago in my day, physios would whisper numbers in my ear so I'd stay out on that pitch. But
Shaivu joined Penn FC after 2 years with Inter Allies FC. Can play defensive midfield, obviously playing in the back four today.
4 players have come over from that Ghanaian academy.
One of the best academies in Africa, Right to Dream Academy. So it's been quite the story, and it's good to see Shaivu coming back on the field, and now TFC2 going to be completely up against it. A little bit of change of shape as Malik Johnson's going to come high. Subel to his left and Daniels to his right.
Yeah, I think TFC2 will hopefully see off the plan to see off the next couple of minutes, get to halftime. At the moment, they're 4-4-1. And then make the necessary changes to personnel if there are any.
That's a foul. Another card coming out.
Another obstacle.
Calvin Resende now picks up the card here, and time added on to end the first half of play.
Yeah, Resende comes across from that midfield position. I think it's probably not a yellow card in my opinion. It stops a little bit of a break for TFC2.
Neither was the Malik Johnson caution the first half, in my opinion, either. But
it's another obstacle, that red card, more controversy for TFC2, and these young players to now try to overcome in the second half.
My initial reaction was there wasn't much in it, but then when you see the player down on the field like that, I think the initial reaction of the referee and everyone in this place is something cynical happens.
And it came into the game a couple years ago, a little bit of a mandate for elbows, those high aerial challenges that if you catch them flush like that, I think you need to protect players, and there's been a little bit of a precedent already set.
Well, a difficult challenge has become that much more difficult for TFC2.
I think in times like this, you're able to assess your group, and you'll see the leaders, the players who can step up and bring the group through it. It's too bad because it'll suck a little bit of energy out of the good first 42 minutes from TFC2. The school kids too are gagging for a TFC2 goal as well.
Another soft caution, in my opinion, coming up. Things getting a little bit chippy, but
I think the referee's just...
Daniels now in the book.
I think the caution to Resende was a soft one, and now all of a sudden for consistency, she's got to give out cautions now.
Maybe she just wants to keep tempers down and just keep everything under control after a difficult foul to watch.
Since when do you start standing up for ref?
Never.
She just missed a handball there too.
Bjornathan defending Buffo. Good cut inside. Oh, he goes down.
Could be a penalty.
Linesman made the call. Referee said waved it on. Big block there by Boscovich. Buffo back on it. Rivera, heavy touch. Plays that back. Heinemann. Cavalluzzo, oh, difficult spin. Goalkeeper does well to stay alert and get on that ball.
Real agile goalkeeping from Cavalluzzo. Here's the penalty appeal. Buffo cuts inside. The lineswoman gives it.
Yeah.
I think there's enough contact. Bjornathan just tries to stop him by any means. I think if it's outside the box, 100% it's a foul. Referee doesn't give the penalty. TFC2 get away with it.
I think they absolutely got away with it. I think the linesman got it spot on. The referee didn't trust the lines. That's why your assistant referee is there.
And I want linesmen to be used, assistant referees to be used more often for these reasons. And I think after that red card, the referee just lost control of the game a little bit. Gave 2 cheap, soft yellow cards, and that should have been a penalty.
It's interesting because I've seen multiple players end up tripping on an uneven surface, and perhaps she thought that there was more to that. Bjornathan went down, faced him on the turf, rather than anything audacious, but still, the linesman was right there to make that call. So Toronto FC 2 down to 10 men as Sean Hundle sent off here in the latter stages of the first half of play. No score to speak of, but a mountain decline for TFC 2 in the second half of play. Through 45 minutes play, it's goalless here at Monarch Park, and you're watching on ESPN Plus and USLsoccer.com.
The hashtag is I am awesome 2018. I am awesome 2018. You're going to tag two people, myself, MTC Life, one word, MTC Life, and you're going to tag Toronto FC 2. So, here's the competition. When I give it each of the cue, we are going to dance. We are going to dance to Waka Waka Shakira, my girlfriend. Oh, no, I'm just joking. She's not my girlfriend. She doesn't know yet. So we are going to dance. The two schools, the one school that has the most views on Twitter, the other school that has the most shares on Twitter.
It's a beautiful day at Monarch Park in Toronto, Ontario. No score through 45 minutes between TFC 2 and Penn FC. Gareth Wheeler with you alongside former Canadian international Terry Dunfield. Goalless in the first half of play. TFC 2 down to 10 men with the late sending off of Sean Hundle. But really over the course of the 45 minutes, really not much separating these two sides, Terry.
Yeah, it's been quite even. I think both defenses are on top right now. And I think it's going to take a special moment, a moment of brilliance, or possibly a set piece to break down both these defenses.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights, and right away, it was in the second minute of play, Toronto FC with a glorious opportunity. It was Hundle before he was sent off, getting involved, playing the ball through the six. Malik Johnson's going to have nightmares, not going to sleep at night
Yeah,
tonight.
This was in the second minute. It was probably TFC 2's best opportunity. Sean Hundle squares it across. Malik Johnson's got to do everything he can to keep that down. Penn FC had some threat on set pieces. Whip balls into that near post. They're putting players all around Cavalluzzo, but TFC have defended them quite well.
And it's been the story of TFC's 2 year, really when they create chances, not taking advantage. Looked like Daniels had done in Hawkins, just not able to play a final ball or put a ball on target, really to punish the back line.
You have to be ruthless in that box, and by any means, maybe it's a toe poke, whatever it is, once you have that half a yard, you're not going to get a whole bunch of time. You've got to test Lewis, that goalkeeper.
And this is the moment that changed the match. Hundle, ooh, dirty challenge, elbow up. Not sure there was intent behind it, but when you put your elbow up in a situation like that, you're asking for trouble. And Penn FC, in time added on, there was a penalty appeal. Buffon gets past Bjornathan. The linesman wanted the penalty given. The referee, the match official, waved it off. So TFC 2, I mean, everything started to go against them right there at the end of the first half of play.
I thought Buffon does really well there. He gets past Bjornathan. Bjornathan sort of throws his body in front of him. I think there's enough contact. The lineswoman actually gives it. The referee waves her off, lets it play on. And then you actually see a little pull from Matty Servo on his jersey as well. So TFC 2 get away with one there. And I think they just really need to get into that changing room, regroup, group. The red card will have sucked a little bit of energy out of the group. It was an excellent, I'd say excellent, but a solid performance, something to build on in the first half, but that red card makes things very difficult.
Well, Terry, just looking on paper and in practice, this seemed to be a good spot for TFC2 to really kick on and go for their first win of the season. Now that you're 10 men, how does the focus shift? How do things change based on the fact you're down a player?
I think the philosophy of the group and the team, the ideology has been to sit sort of in a middle block and then look to break from that defensive shape. And it was working with Aiden Daniels and Malik Johnson and Sean Hundle up top. So now all of a sudden TFC2 will have one less attacker up top. I think they'll keep that same shape. Might drop a little bit deeper, but they're going to have to absorb pressure at times, defend manfully, defend these set pieces, and then when an opportunity comes your way, take it.
Well, it's a school day game here at Monarch Park. Hundle sent off. I guess that's equivalent of detention, something that I was really used to over my years. A great crowd, the best classroom imaginable. We'll be back with second half kickoff in a few moments' time. You're watching on ESPN Plus and USLsoccer.com.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of The Breakdown. Really excited to analyse the plays of the week this week. We even have an ESPN Sports Center #1 in the top 10. I hope you enjoy.
Great little move there from Cooper. Sends it across. It's Jamal Johnson.
The first play from Jamal Johnson here is his goal. If you watch when he picks the ball up, he has almost like a 8 to 10 meter radius around him, and that's created by his movement and his space. You know, he's recognized that when he's going into the box that he doesn't need to make the first post run, he doesn't need to make the far post run. It's an extremely difficult finish, and it's coming across his body, and he makes extremely good contact on the ball. He uses the pace of the cross and slots it right into the corner.
To have a completely open view of what's happening. Oh my goodness, what a goal!
I don't think there's any doubt as to why this was the #1 on the ESPN Sports Center. It's a very special thing for a player to see a goalkeeper off a line, especially from a goal kick, because he's not expecting the ball to bounce to him, especially the way it bounced to him. So when the ball did bounce to him, I think that he just thinks, why not? And he's just showing everyone there is the technique that he has, but he also showed me what I feel as though is the mentality of a player, which is something that we've not seen yet this season. I think it's fantastic.
Anything. Oh. Francois takes it away, plays it back, Brett holds, scores!
Yes, what a great pullback.
Francois' defensive play here is what creates the goal. You know, his teammate loses the ball, he takes a bad touch, but he doesn't give up on it, and he persists, and his reaction to the turnover is fantastic. And then Brett can either do one or two things. He can take a touch or he can finish it first time. The defender thinks he's going to take a first time shot, and that's what then allows him to have the composure to relax, take the touch, and it's a great finish.
Manila makes a meal out of that one. Now Ledesma on the breakaway, and it's 3-0 as he chips Maxime Crepeau.
This goal for Cincinnati in the 76th minute is a lot about anticipation for Ledesma. The defender makes a great decision here to play the ball in behind, and when the Ottawa defender makes the mistake, and again he anticipates the mistake, maybe if it was 0-0 at the time and he was going on to win the game or try and win the game, he might have taken a touch close to the keeper. But with the way they were playing, I completely understand why he's taken the first time finish. Thank you for watching the Breakdown on week 7. As you can see, some fantastic goals, some fantastic plays, and I've really enjoyed analysing them. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Back to a beautiful sunny afternoon in Toronto, Ontario. TFC2 and Penn FC goalless through 45 minutes of play, but TFC2 finding themselves a man down to play over the second half of play with the sending off of Sean Hundle. Gareth Wheeler alongside former Canadian international Terry Dunfield. Let's take a look at some recent results on the USL schedule. And it's been a busy week for Penn FC. They fell on Monday night, just 48 hours ago, less than that, to the Ottawa Fury by a score of 1-0.
Yeah, it was a tough one. It was in the last 5 minutes of the game off a corner kick.
Let's take a look and see what's happening tonight. Plenty of midweek football, midweek fixtures for you to jump all over.
The one that stands out for me is the Salt Lake City one, moving into their new stadium.
And St. Louis made a trade this week. USL action. They take on the LA Galaxy 2. Rio Grande Valley and Fresno to finish up your Wednesday schedule. Some news and notes around USL soccer, Terry.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds are flying. They've beaten TFC 2 twice. With Bob Lilly, you know exactly what you're going to get. A side that gives you very little, that can morph into different systems. And up top, they've got a goal scorer in Brett, who's got 5 and 7. Cincinnati now have 3 wins in a row. Last game, they played in front of almost 23,000 fans against Atlanta. They have MLS expansion on their minds as well. Side going in the right direction. And then attendance is over 100,000 fans in week 8. That's incredible. Awesome for attracting players to the league. Also shows that there's a culture. You can build a culture with crowds like that. A nice little bit of revenue for the clubs as well.
And it's not just that, it's the quality of the product is improving and the people coming out. It's a very good mixture. Case in point, look at here today, a beautiful sunny afternoon. The commitment of the community to rally around this team, it's extraordinary. We're looking forward to extraordinary second half of play here in Toronto. That's coming up next. Welcome back to Monarch Park in beautiful and sunny and warm Toronto, Ontario. TFC 2 and Penn FC about to start the second 45 minutes of play, goalless here in Toronto. Penn FC, they're going to be looking forward to a little bit of a breather, and this extensive road trip will continue until they host this very Toronto FC 2 team all the way on June 9th. A lot of road matches consecutively for Penn FC. And as for TFC 2, a busy schedule, remainder of the month, still 4 more matches coming in the month of May, all capped off with a trip to Ottawa to take on former Toronto FC player Julian de Guzman's side in Ottawa at the end of this month. Waja has really impressed here over the course of the afternoon or morning thus far, Terry. Some very good bits of skill on the ball.
Yeah, it's been a real complete performance from Waja in the middle of the park. Doesn't shy away from his defensive duties. Excellent at tracking back, but when he gets on the ball, he's got a nice composure to his game. He's got wonderful technique, skill, awareness. I'd just like to see him more involved. At times, he'll drift in and out of the game. I think he's got the attributes to really go out and dictate a game, a complete game for 90 minutes. He's going to be important in the middle of the park with TFC down, man.
Well, Sean Hundle sent off in the latter stages of the first half of play. TFC will look to play a little bit more compact. How else will there be a way forward for TFC 2 here? You know, not just sitting back trying to maintain what they have in a point here, but trying to find a full 3-point, find a goal somehow here, Terry.
It's not easy chasing points when you're down a man. It looks as though TFC are going to set up with 2 banks of 4 and Malik Johnson up top. I think they'll try to break from this shape, possibly utilize Malik Johnson's pace up top, up against Hawkins and Venter, the 2 big center halves for Penn FC.
Boscovich does well to recover, get on it. Serbel, some room here for Elijah, closed down by Galveo.
So important, though, that you keep the ball, you don't give it away cheaply. You do a lot of chasing when you're down a man. It's important that when you do get it, that you don't switch off, that you create angles, that you want to get on the ball. It's not a time where you can take a break or catch your breath.
Defoe out to Galveo. Good step on Kubel, easy take for Angelo Cavaluzzo. And this is a time, the goalkeeper didn't have much to do in the first half, Terry, but Cavaluzzo's going to have to be that leader that he's become at the back for Toronto FC, just communicating, being able to distribute, providing an option from time to time.
Yeah, I thought he quietly had a good first half. I thought his positioning was excellent. Kept a high line. He was that sweeper keeper, picked up any balls in behind the back too. Center halves.
Good to see Shaibu up and at it, back in action.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that he passed concussion protocol and he's back out there. Took a real blow from Sean Hundle. We saw it again a couple times at halftime. Caught him flush.
He's on the ball. Not much space there. TFC 2 doing well to close down.
It's tough too when you're down a man on this surface as well. One way you can sort of break from that shape is dribbling with the ball, driving up the pitch, but it's so bumpy and it's hard to get the ball under control, so it almost takes that dynamic away.
The thing is, it's going to be a lot of running from Malik Johnson. You're going to need him to be able to provide options, outlets to break the pressure and just be able to challenge the back line and keep them honest.
It's a tricky one too, because you want him to be economical with his running for when that opportunity does present himself. He's got the energy levels to test Lewis in that net, or hopefully go one better and score.
That long ball by Kubel is an absolute weapon.
I think that's an interesting point you bring up as well. When you're down a man, I think set pieces for him become a little bit more crucial, and there's more importance on those. Opportunity to get the big man up from the back, and I think Kubel's long throw could be a weapon as well that TFC try to utilize.
Venter, this is going to be a theme where Toronto FC sits back, is very well organized. Good run by Dennis. Flag goes up.
Thought he timed that quite well.
Multiple players in the referee's book after the first half of play. Rivera, Resende for Penn FC.
After the red card, the referee just had a mad 5 minutes.
TFC 2, Aiden Daniels is in the book as well. Malik Johnson. Cavaluzzo, long ball. Like the movement of Serbel, always active. Wins it back from Jamie. Good spin. Great turn on the ball. Double turn on the ball. Wonderful stuff by Serbel. Elijah, good pass. Kubel gets down the wing, does well to keep it in play. Better from Toronto FC too.
A little bit of individual brilliance from Serbo in the middle of the park. Just pirouetting everybody. Used his body as well to hold the defender off. Eventually comes out wide to Kubel, but without Sean Hundle in the box, didn't really have many options on that cross. Real classy football, fun player to watch, Matty Serbo. Can play various positions. Very rarely gives the ball away. Uses his body to hold defenders off it really well.
Well done by Bjornathan.
Thought that was excellent movement from the number 11. Rivera just pulled off the shoulder of Bjornathan. Bjornathan just caught sleeping a little bit, is able to get back and chest the ball back to Cavaluzzo.
Laurent Gaillot does have options. The backup goalkeepers, Catalano, Onconi, Andrews, the backup defenders, or the reserve defenders today. Cello, Petrasso, Yates, Akinola, another option to put up front.
Real young bench. A lot of academy graduates on there. I'm sure they'll be itching to get on. This might be the biggest crowd some of them have played in front of.
Galveo, crafty ball to the near post. Cavalluzzo does well to keep that in play. Heineman can't believe it. Wanted a corner kick.
I just hold it there, Cavalluzzo. Just under pressure.
Serbell just...
Yeah, slight nudge, but Serbell there wheels is 1 against 5. I can see what Cavalluzzo's trying to do, start a fast break, but he's just been under pressure for a couple minutes. Allow the team to catch their breath, get up the pitch.
Sometimes you're quicker to get the play back on when you know you got away with something. Perhaps just it's your natural instinct. Hand in the cookie jar, get it out there quick. Kello, good defending. Johnson all the way back, basically onto his 18-yard box.
I don't mind that at times when Malik Johnson's a little bit deeper. He's working hard for the team, providing a screen, but he also allows you, he's a little bit more connected for that outlet pass.
Galveo into the 18. Heineman can't get there. Good recovery. Jamie, back heel. Daniels with a chance to take away some pressure, does just that. Had the option in Serbell, just kept it, and TFC back to where they started.
With just Malik Johnson up top, you don't really have a target man like Tommy Heineman to kick to. You've got to play your way out of the back.
Well done by Okello and Johnson right there combining. Okello, good ball to Johnson. Here we go, he's through. That's got to be a caution right there. Jamie just took him down after Malik Johnson was through, and there was daylight there. There was absolutely room to take advantage of.
It was great play, all came from a Cavalluzzo goal kick, goes out to Noble Okello. Okello wins the header, eventually comes back to him. Nice little square ball, angled pass to Malik Johnson. His first touch is positive. He breaks through, but in my opinion, it was a real intelligent yellow card from Jamie just to end the counter. Real professional foul from him, shows a bit of experience.
Aiden Daniels to take this free kick, try to capitalize on a very good movement down the right-hand side. Daniels, far post. Well kept into play by Serbell. Top of the 18, Elijah. Daniels. Far post again, no one home, but a lovely piece of skill. You've seen it multiple times today. I've been very impressed with Serbell, Terry. Just his touch on the ball, his movement, I think he's been great.
Oh, he brings it, cushions that out of the air, almost like Michael Ballack at the back post, brings it down, just isn't able to pick out a red.
Look at young Terry Dunfield back there.
I don't know about that.
Well done by Julian Dunn.
Don't know, it was a good ball from Aiden Daniels to the back post. Whether you're better having Bjornathan come over and have an in-swinging left foot on that free kick.
I'd prefer that. Substitution coming up for TFC 2.
I might just wait till after the corner kick here. This is where you do not want to concede. If you've got 10 men, it's all the same with 10 or 11. Do not concede from a set piece.
Make them beat you in open play. It's not Galveo on this. Looks like Buffo. In swinging corner kick. Poor. Back out to Buffo. Step on Waja. Oof. Look out, kids. There's so many school kids sitting in the track. I mean, gotta keep your head on a swivel. Hope everyone's okay down there.
I love these morning school games. Great atmosphere. What a day to play some footy.
Substitution for both sides coming up.
I haven't said this very often in the last 18 months since I hung up my boots, but would love to be out there right now.
Rivera coming off.
substitute for Penn FC in the 56th minute. Coming into the match, number 77, Lucky Mkasana. Subbing out number
So
11,
Lucky
Jorge
Mkasano
Rivera.
coming into the game has had the most appearances for Penn FC on the season. Good ball, far post, Cavalluzzo, big stop. Edge to the rescue, taking a goal away at the far post for Penn FC.
Great save, good right hand from Cavalluzzo, just catches it on the half volley and helps it past the post. Great header at the back post from Hawkins, does exactly what you need to do and head it down.
Buffo again, far post, same thing, Heineman, handball. What's the call here? She called a penalty kick.
No.
That looked clear as day that Tommy Heineman handled the ball, and yet a penalty's being given?
I don't know whether she's seen a slight push on Tommy Heineman.
No. Let's take another look at that.
Good in-swinging cross into the box. Just look at Tommy Heineman in the middle of your screen.
What's the call? He grabbed the ball in midair.
I don't know whether he's saying it's a push from Julian Dunn on him. Oh, it's very innocuous.
Is there something that I'm missing here?
You saw the referee action pushing out with her two hands, saying there was a push he saw in the box. I thought at first TFC2 were protesting, saying it should be a yellow card for the handball.
Is there a pull of a jersey? I mean,
you can see
a little bit of a pull of a jersey from Julian Dunn, but
left hand, not enough to give away a penalty.
That is harsh.
Maybe it's a little bit of a makeup call for the penalty she didn't give at the end of the first half. But
Heineman facing Cavalluzzo. TFC2 up against it. Heineman, patient, and absolutely no rush. Stutter step, Cavalluzzo! Edge with a massive stop. Justice is served here at Monarch Park.
Justice, 100%, and that, what a great save from Cavalluzzo on the back of a great save as well, off of Hawkins on the corner kick. Gets down low, extremely well with his left hand, and it's a solid wrist, touches it around the post.
You can see what that meant for the 25-year-old goalkeeper.
Absolutely,
well done.
Absolutely, justice is served.
A shocking penalty given, and Malik Johnson just goes for a run here. He's called for a foul. He can't believe it as well. Jaime was all over him. It's referee right now, if I don't say so myself, a little bit of a shocker is that's going to be Malik Johnson's final contribution to this afternoon's match, as Akeem Andrews is coming to the game for Toronto FC, a defender, so Toronto FC too just...
Yeah, he's played it right back this season, Andrews, but he's come to TFC from Trinidad. This is in his second season with the club. Predominantly a number 9 conventional striker, so I presume he'll go up top and look to give you a little bit of physical presence up top, holding the ball up.
Well, we'll see where he
goes. Bit of freshness as well.
Yeah, he's going straight up top, so...
But what a save from Cavalluzzo. That could be a huge turning point, not only in the game, but potentially the season.
You saw his reaction. He's such a likable guy, Terry. He works so hard. A smaller goalkeeper, which is oftentimes held against him, but he's a top shot stopper. We've seen it over the course of last season, of this season. Just some incredible saves, and add that one to the highlight reel.
Yeah, top pro, very humble. At times you don't see that emotion from him. You saw, as you said, Wheels, how much it meant to him. Excellent shot stopper. It was a little bit predictable from Tommy Heineman. He opened his body up early. You could see that he was going to go that way.
I like how he took his time, and then he did that stutter step. Just go up and hit the ball, son.
Yeah, and if you do that stutter and the keeper doesn't shift, all of a sudden it's a little bit panic stations and just tries to pass it into the corner. The turf might have killed any pace on the shot as well, but taking nothing away from Cavalluzzo. What a save from him, and you can see it galvanized the group a little bit as well afterwards.
Well, Lucky Mkasano comes off and brought the luck to Penn FC, but Cavalluzzo, another stop.
Offside.
Heineman misses the rebound, offside on the captain of Penn FC, but Cavalluzzo up to that shot from distance as well. I prefer skill over luck, and Cavalluzzo has been absolutely class.
Great strike from Jamie in midfield. I like his movement. He's patient. He lets the play build up. Eventually it comes to him. He steps past one, sets himself up for a cannon off his left foot, strikes it from distance. Great push from Cavalluzzo, and then Tommy Heinemann's offside. Just going to take a look at the penalty as well. Great push from his right foot. Watch this, how he gets across the net low to his left-hand side. It's bobbling. He reads the bobble and just touches it around the post.
Well, always for a goalkeeper, the toughest penalties to save are either low or high. When it's right in the middle, they're much more easier to save. So he had to get down low quickly, and he was up for it.
We spoke
and Daniels is absolutely fouled by Galveo.
I'm not sure there's a whole bunch in that one. Daniels gets ahead of them, but at the moment, I think the referee's on tilt a little bit. She's just calling everything right now. I don't know whether the crowd, the emotion of the game, the red card's just getting to the referee at the moment.
Well, sometimes it's the surface as well. Once the game picks up, there's a bobble here or there. Sometimes can get away from a player or a referee.
We spoke about what needs to happen to come through a second half at 0-0, potentially nick a winner. But you need a goalkeeper to step up and make saves. Cavalluzzo's made 3 key saves in the first 15 minutes.
Another outswinger coming. Daniels can't beat the first defender again. Just wonder if someone else, just an in-swinging free kick would just be a better decision in situations like that, Terry.
I don't want to take away from Aiden Daniels' quality, and he can definitely whip a good set piece in, dead ball, but a couple times it hasn't worked from that area. And you've got an option, I think, in Bjornathan. He can come across, and he's got an excellent left foot and good delivery as well.
Well, it's just when you're down a man, set piece situations as such are just so important to take advantage of.
Yeah, and you've now got Andrews on the pitch, who gives you a bit of presence. He's good in the air. Nobukello, 6'4", 2 center halves, Boskovic and Julian Dunn are 6'2", both good in the air. So you've got targets you can hit as well.
That time Cervell off the back of his calf. Didn't have much to do with that. Had to play for a Penn FC throw. So a sending off. Sean Hundle of TFC2 sent off in the first half. Looks to be the right call. Heinemann gifted a penalty where Cavalluzzo was up for it, and we're goalless here in the 63rd minute. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you. Happy to have you along on this Wednesday afternoon, whether you're watching on the go, at work. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to bring you USL soccer action on ESPN+. Andrews to Cervell.
Great header from Waj in the middle of the park. Both him and Akello have had good second halves. Just doing the ugly side of the game, cutting out passing lanes.
Good composure by Julian Dunn. Waja.
I think Julian Dunn's been excellent in a couple of USL games he's played real since. A tough game with the first team against a very fast attacking front three of the Houston Dynamo.
Remember, he's still just a teenager.
All part of being a young kid, ups and downs.
Yes.
I think showing that resilience to come through it is an excellent trait in his character.
Got that right in the Maddies.
In the Cervells.
I went with the Maddies, but no laughing matter.
Yeah, one thing I like about the squad under Laurent Gaillou this season is the wide players work really hard to get out and stop crosses. We've seen it with Kubel a few times, Matty Serbo there. It's easy to just stand off your opponent, let him put balls into the box, but the fullbacks and wide players in the front three work really hard to prevent sides putting balls into the box.
Cervell is still down in the park. This would be a significant loss, just returning from injury if he's unable to continue, and oof. At least if you're going to be down and you need to take a moment, it's a day like this. It's about 22 degrees Celsius. Picture perfect day here in Toronto. Our last broadcast here was about -1.
That's ridiculously windy.
Heineman gets on that loose ball inside the 18. Bjornathan, some breathing room.
A performance like this up against it with 10 men is, you can see it through it. It's a great way to really bring the group together too. If you can maybe nick 3 points or get a point.
Second substitution coming up for Penn FC in a moment's time.
I think bigger picture, it can really help the group over the season.
Jaime. Bjornathan up for that again. Consistent. It's the word that comes to mind with the TFC2 left back. Servel doesn't make good contact there. Here comes Penn FC. Overcooks it.
They're just forcing it a little bit, Dennis, trying to make something happen. I think at that point, you just switch the point of the attack, be patient, try to find little seams and gaps to play in.
67th minute for Penn FC.
Well, Frederick Opoku's coming in.
Coming out, number 80, Haruna Saibu.
Haruna Shaibu, as both players came from the same academy at the same time to join this Penn FC side.
Sometimes when you've got players coming in from overseas, the adjustment of coming to a new country and playing in a different league is a little bit easier when you've got a couple teammates and fellow countrymen just to adjust to life in Pennsylvania.
Lovely place, Harrisburg.
Penn FC in November of 2017. Used to be called the Harrisburg Islanders.
It's Jaime. Venter.
Rebranded.
It's almost like a 3 at the back now. They're pushing the wing players up higher. Here's Heidemann with the look. Ooh, the bounce off the unpredictable turf. Caught Cavalluzzo, the goalkeeper, up for it yet again.
The ball sat up quite nice for Heineman. It's a good ball in depth to him. Just sits up and he thinks, why not? Has a rip. Almost David Platt-esque. Falls over his shoulder, just drags it a little bit into the grass, into the turf, sorry. Took any pace out of the shot.
TFC second substitution coming up, but first, watch to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL. Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Well, Serbo returning from injury, he gets through 68.5 minutes. Ayo Akinola replacing him, so an out-and-out striker replacing Serbo. Your thoughts on Serbo's day?
Thought he was excellent.
Yeah, me too.
Very comfortable in possession. Not easy playing a man down for him. He's a player that likes to connect with others.
Akinola straight on it.
But I think it's important to just keep the energy levels high, and Ayo Akinola, an out-and-out number 9, really. Promising future.
U.S. Youth International. Good ball through. Casano just can't get his foot on it. It's a TFC 2-goal kick.
Might have been better just taking, might have been better taking a touch forward. Bjornathan had gone to ground. Just tries an early ball in behind there.
TFC 2 looked very comfortable defensively, though, considering they've been down a man since the latter stages of the first half of play.
Yeah, I think also when you play with 10 men, you might want to break down the half into different blocks, and I think TFC 2 with a couple big Cavalluzzo saves kind of got through that first period okay, and now settled into the game. And Penn FC, as you'd expect, we've said it numerous times, the third game in 5 days, just looking a little bit drained. It's hot, tough playing surface.
Well, there was a chance right there. Krubel did well to jump up into the play. Akinola couldn't handle that pass. Here's Casano, that's offside. Goal won't count. Cavalluzzo actually got his fits to that shot attempt somehow, some way as well.
Yeah, he got his paw on it, but another diagonal. This looks to be Penn FC's best way to get to TFC2's goal. Great touch off his chest. The substitute with his second one beats Cavalluzzo, but nice line from the back four for TFC2. Definitely offside in my opinion.
Daniels with a big challenge.
Yeah, it looked like he led with his elbow a little bit there as well. Fortunately, doesn't catch the fullback.
Galveo switched to this right-hand side with Aponku coming down this left-hand side. So a little bit of shift in tactics here from Penn FC. Venter.
Just going a little bit direct. They're struggling to play through that midfield. The block of is very well organized TFC2 side. It's very dense in the middle of the park. Just trying to play over top of TFC2's midfield at the moment.
Waja.
This pitch isn't conducive for intricate football.
The TFC2 doing well to keep hold of the ball here. Boskovic had a big part of that just a moment ago. Here's Cavalluzzo long. Galveo's there. Bjornathan just wants to let that out of play. It just goes out of play for a TFC2 throw.
Smart from Bjornathan. Could have helped that forward, but just manages the game and the scenario quite well. Gives the lads a little bit of a breather.
Akinola, he's in! Mistake by Hawkins. Akinola blows a tire.
Oh, he just
He was straight in on goal. What happened there?
You talk about working hard for your opportunity. Comes from a throw-in. Fortuitously gets to Akinola, just steps on the ball. He's just trying to get it out of his feet. Slowed his run down a little bit. Almost chases a lost cause. Gets past the big center half and just needs to get it out of his feet here.
Just stepped on the ball.
Yeah, lost a little bit of his tempo. Just keep plowing through. He's waiting for the ball to settle and to touch it forward with the instep of his foot on the half volley. Instead, he steps on it. He's clean through wheels.
Ayo Akinola's going to be kicking himself after that to show a little bit of composure. Casano out wide. Good work by Penn FC. Cavalluzzo there. Bjornathan on the far post. Wonderful work by Aaron Dennis. Couple crossovers, played that through the six. How does it this find the back of the net?
Dennis does really well. Looks as though he's going to shape it with his right foot to the back post. Instead, drives to the end line, cuts it across. Bjornathan just gets his body shape all over the place a little bit, gets a little bit of luck, and Cavalluzzo's alert, moves his feet extremely quick to get across and smother the ball.
Akinola does better this time.
That would have summed that. Sorry, Wheels.
Here they come. Andrews down the right-hand side. Good ball in the middle for Daniels. That just doesn't come off after some high pressure for TFC2. Is really causing some problems for the Penn FC back line. Can they expose TFC the other way? No. Dunn is up for it. Taking the ball straight off Heineman. There have been a couple of opportunities for Penn FC here, but they're making mistakes and showing some frailties at the back as well.
Yeah, the game's just opening up a little bit. Akinola there trying to flick the ball. Just keep the ball for your side. It's not the time to try that.
Heineman from a difficult angle. That was never going to find the target. He was offside, or actually he's out for a goal kick.
Just going back to my point, Wheels, that would have summed up TFC2's season. Akinola clean through, treads on the ball, and then Penn FC go the other way and punish the side.
Visit the USL's Instagram story every Monday evening to watch Kelsey Steele's hat trick as she breaks down 3 key talking points from the previous week's action. Gareth Wheeler with the man of steel, Terry Dunfield. No score here from Monarch Park on a beautiful school day afternoon for Toronto FC2 in the local community. It's got that real true community feel to it. Dunn. He's been excellent at center back today, hasn't he, Terry? Dealing with a veteran striker, a player 12, 13 years older than him, but Dunn has been cool, calm, collected.
look very athletic as well. Really on the front foot. Won some important headers. I think his positioning's been good. Both him and Boskovic have played as a pair nicely, covering one another.
It's a good partnership developing here.
Yeah, I like having a left footer there as well. Helps you play out. I think Boskovic.
Well, another call going against Toronto FC too. Laurent Gaillot, just can't believe it.
I think Boskovic, it helps his game as well, having Julian Dunn beside him. That change of pace, that athleticism.
Buffo. Apoku. Just have better service than that. I think the whole back line, Bjornething and Kubel, have both played well today. And it's a good mix in the central midfield as well for Toronto FC too. We got the size and the physical presence of Okello with all those arms and legs, with the smaller, more creative influence in Waja, who's really insistent, Terry, on keeping the ball no matter what. And this game oftentimes is about partnerships, and you're trying to find the right balance, and Gaillot looks like he's found something here with at multiple positions on the field.
He's found a nice blend in the middle of the park. You add Matty Sorbel into it as well. You've got a little bit of everything in there.
Dennis, high and wide.
I think Noba Kello's maybe just picked up a little bit of a knock or a calf when he gave away that free kick at the Penn FC's end. He's about to go off and be substituted now, potentially.
Well, it's Penn's final substitution. It's about to take place. Well, it's going to take place right now. Calvin Rosende, he's on a yellow card. He's coming off here the 78th minute of play.
The substitution in the 78th minute for Penn FC. Coming into the match, number 8, Dan Metzger. Coming out, number 21, Calvin Rosende.
So Metzger on for Rosende. That's Penn FC's final change. Akinola gets behind the back line. That runs out of touch for a Penn FC goal kick, and that TFC 2 changes coming up. It will be Noble Okello coming off, whether it's a calf, whether it's something else. Luca Uccello comes into the game. You can just see the sheer size of Okello coming off the pitch in comparison to Uccello.
Yeah, big boy. He's got the new breed profile of a midfielder. That tall, rangy, can cut out passing lanes, just eats up yards all over the pitch.
See, it's kind of old school as well, because just it screams Patrick Vieira. Those arms and legs. And
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far he goes.
Well,
in
he's
the
17,
game.
Right? So
yeah, when he just sort of grows into his body. I thought he did well. Normally he plays as a 6, that holding midfielder role. Played a little bit higher today. Showed a nice versatility to his game.
So all the changes have been made by both sides, so all to play for here. Goalless as we approach the final 10 minutes plus time added on. Uccello. Waja just got spun around. 2 balls on the field. Look out. Daniels good on the turn. Quick turn. Waja. Uccello. Veluzzo, well up for Akinola. Oh, that's a 50-50 challenge. Unreal.
Yeah, I thought it was good strength from Uccello. Just holds off Jamie in the middle of the park.
Well, the high bounce on the turf is going to force players instead of just...
It becomes a physical duel.
Exactly. I would much prefer that physical duel on the ground than players recklessly try to get that ball in the air and causing more damage. It's understanding that the players made a mature decision. Just allow them to play.
I think it...
Good turn inside the 18. Metzger plays that inside the 6. It's Kubel there to clear. No call, even though Heinemann came straight through the back of his knee. Cavalluzzo down as well.
Cavalluzzo picks up a knock as well.
In fairness, the referee had her back turned to Heinemann coming straight through the back of Kubel.
Yeah, Heinemann
got to be in the right position watching the play.
Just kicks out at Kubel. Important clearance and good positioning from Kubel at the back post. He's been real steady coming into the side at right back. First start since the opening day of the season against the New York Red Bulls, too. TFC 2 under a little bit of pressure right now. Ball comes square across the net. A couple players have a couple bites at it. Brave defending from Julian Dunn. Cavalluzzo makes himself big. Kubel clears it. The referee's back's turned. Well, doesn't see the late kick from Tommy Heineman.
Casano came straight through Cavalluzzo, where the goalkeeper's exposed. He's straight up, and when the player comes low on a player not,
yeah, I think Julian Dunn
aware.
Julian Dunn does quite well to just hold Casano off a little bit. He misses it completely, and you know he's got every right, Casano, to throw his body at it. Doesn't get anything on it. Heineman's late at Kubel at the back post. Cavalluzzo picks up a knock. It's probably not the end of the world for TFC2 just to eat up a few minutes into the clock as well. Catch your breath. Hopefully get an opportunity in the late stages, but I think the group Wheels has battled through this second half with 10 men quite nicely. Been pretty organized, haven't really been broken down.
Right now, there's been
a soft penalty.
There's been a couple moments here as of late where a Penn FC player's got in behind the back line. You just cannot allow that to happen.
That's going to happen though with 10 men.
No, as best as possible, that back line, you need to keep them in front of you as much as you can.
And they've done a good job of that
yes,
throughout the half, which has sort of led to Penn FC putting long balls into the box and going a little bit more direct. But I think once Penn FC have got him behind the back four, I think TFC2 have collapsed nicely around Cavalluzzo and made it difficult.
Both are having a conversation who the ball should go to. A proper drop ball. You don't see that very often where both sides are going for it. I like that too.
A proper drop ball.
Akinola putting pressure again. That time Hawkins much more secure. Poor ball given away. Aponku somehow gets that out of Andrews. Boskovic sliding challenge on the turf. That's going to leave a burn.
Yeah, nice challenge.
That's not going to feel good later in the day.
Keeps TFC ticking. Don't know how she missed the referee, the little pull from Akinola.
Elijah tries to play Akinola through.
Starting to see some of the school kids go back to the classroom. All the best to the teachers settling them down this afternoon after this.
Good luck. Buffon. Casano. Casano plays back to Buffon, outside of the foot. Spins back in play.
Oh, it's just too straight for Buffon. Take a touch, you're in a great spot in the box. Just lashes at him. Awful technique from Buffon. Take a touch, settle yourself.
See Boskovic, he's got his shorts rolled up. That is stinging. Wait till he takes a bath later on today.
The worst part with those isn't the bath today, or it's when you keep reopening it in training.
Fully committed. Jaime. Well read by Andrews. Jaime does well to hold him off. Akinola. Keep on putting pressure on the back. They look a little bit lackadaisical back there, and there has been opportunity.
That can happen when you're playing a man up at the back. Just lose a little bit of concentration.
Casano leaves that out. Oh, Julian Dunn sliding challenge. Takes down Aponku, that's outside the area. Now tell me, for some of the soft calls that we've seen today that have deserved a caution, how that isn't a yellow card in a scenario like that. That looks like a black and white yellow card.
Oh, it was rash.
Textbook.
It was rash, it was late. It stopped a great moment for Penn FC. I don't think Julian Dunn needed to go to ground. It was a fully committed challenge. He had Kubel there as cover.
Well, it all came off a poor touch by Casano, in fairness.
And he saw a window, and the window obviously shut.
So free kick coming up. Prince Buffon looks like he's over the ball to take. Two-man wall. Buffon high and wide. And a goal kick coming up for Toronto FC.
That's a frustrating one. I think if the head coach Voss wasn't suspended, he'd be shaking his head at Buffon right now.
Well, he might be watching on from a distance.
I'm definitely your #1 fan.
Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon.
Thanks, buddy.
When the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. Well, they say that to you. I'm your #1 fan, Terry. Do you hear that? The Terry Dunfield fan club's out here in attendance. All 2 of them.
All right, mate.
Dennis inside the 18. Well done. I keep on saying well done, and each and every time it's Julian. Keem Andrews just plays that over near our broadcast position.
This is where it becomes important. You just put 40 minutes in. It's hot. You're bottom of the league. The groups come together collectively very nicely. Just see this last 5 minutes out for TFC2. Concentration so important. Composure. Just keep doing what you've been doing, and that's one of the hardest things in football.
Paku Boskovic is there.
2 center halves, as you said, Wheels. If they've been immense.
Akinola left his foot up, no call. Jaime doing a very nice job, just sitting right in the midfield. Not taking too many risks, just holding the position well. Here's Hawkins. Harry Hawkins. Double H, not quite triple. Jaime. Cavalluzzo needs to come off his line, and somehow, some way, that finds the back of the net. Absolute heartbreak. That was more of a cross than a shot. Cavalluzzo in recovery, able to touch it off the post, but into the back of the net it goes, and Penn FC have found the go-ahead strike here in the 87th minute.
Kidding me? Penn FC just ran out of ideas a little bit. Jamie, 100%, he's trying to put that cross into the box, gets caught in the wind a little bit. Unfortunately, Cavalluzzo's been excellent, in particular in the second half. Just isn't able to get back, gets a fingertip on it. I don't think Jamie's meaning that. It's a cruel, cruel way for this half to finish.
And Cavalluzzo is down. He's probably not fit after the previous challenge. Add insult to injury, and Penn FC take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Jamie just comes out to the left-hand side here. You can see the frustration Cavalluzzo's in. I think he's in pain, but it's also conceding so late after such a top performance. Jamie trying to swing this to the back post. Cavalluzzo gets fingertips on it, goes off the post. He moves his feet really well to get back. Just
you can't tell me that that was an intentional shot on target.
No, and you can't.
That was a cross.
You can't quite tell on your screens, but there's a slight left to right wind, and it gets caught up in that. And I think the wind just helps it nestle into the top corner.
Well, matters are going to become even worse, as it looks like Cavalluzzo's not going to be able to continue. A stretcher's coming onto the field. I think he's pounding the turf based upon pain rather than injury. Different type of pain for Laurent Guyot, the head coach of Toronto FC2. Cavalluzzo's not going to be able to continue. That means TFC2 is going to be playing with 9 men, with an outfield player who's going to put on the gloves here for the final whatever time is left.
We're hearing reports that might have just caught his ankle in the turf. It might be a bad one. Hopefully it's not too bad for Cavalluzzo. Real heart and soul of this team.
He made that penalty save earlier in the second half. He's played a very good game, and just to end this way with such a devastating injury.
And then if you just go back to it, Wheels, I think if you're Cavalluzzo, his starting position all game's been excellent. It's been high, he's mopped up balls in behind, and if anything, he's thinking, I'm gonna come off my line, I'm gonna come for that cross, but Jamie just overcooks the cross, and it's real lucky it just floats into the top corner. But textbook-wise, Cavalluzzo's in a great spot to come for the cross, but it's just real hard to calculate. It's almost a missed kick from Jamie, flies into the top corner. I'm gutted for Cavalluzzo.
It's a difficult one to watch, and
just makes you want to throw up in your mouth a little bit for him. And then you add the injury to it.
It's best that we don't show it again. We wish Angelo Cavalluzzo nothing but the best. We wish him well. A difficult situation playing out here in the latter stages of this match.
100%. What a great laddie. I spend a lot of time with him.
He was...
For viewers that don't know, I coach in the academy at TFC, and He's there every night after training, working with the goalkeepers. He's got a degree, an engineering degree, real top, not only player, but just human being. And
he was beaming after returning, joining Toronto FC in the CONCACAF Champions League in Mexico, was beaming about the experience, being down there with the boys,
team, yeah,
as part of the CONCACAF Champions League run.
And he's always battling the stigma, and maybe a little bit rightly so, being just 5'10", 5'11", being a small keeper, but he just keeps proving people wrong, and I think he's really found a role at Toronto FC, not only with the USL club, but in the academy, and you just want good people around your club, and he ticks that box big time.
Well, this is devastating. Clearly the situation being dealt with appropriately. The EMS is on the field, the stretcher is out, and
looks as though Kubal's gonna have to go in net. TFC 2 have used all 3 substitutes. So for the remainder of the game, TFC 2 are gonna have to go down to 9 men. Sometimes soccer can be so cruel, and you don't get what you deserve.
I mean, it was a difficult challenge enough going down 10 men at the start of the first half of play. Sean Hundle sent off for dangerous elbow. And TFC 2 just being so organized, rarely troubled here in the second half of play. A very mature performance from a group of young players, and for dead this way with a serious injury to a really well-liked player in the team as Aiden Daniels comes over, the captain, to have a word with Cavalluzzo. I mean, Angelo Cavalluzzo kept Toronto FC in this game really until these latter stages by making the save, brilliant save right here on this penalty, Terry.
Yeah, does really well to get down to his left-hand side, keep the game at 0-0. You're already up against it with 10 men. It was a real soft penalty, and Cavalluzzo, said it many a times over the last 3 seasons, comes to the rescue for TFC 2. Great save.
Remember back in the first match day of the season against New York Red Bulls 2 in New York.
He stood on his head.
It was a season's worth of highlight reel saves for Angelo Cavalluzzo.
It was something like 22, 23 saves he made.
There's going to be a lot of time added on here. I believe the goal was scored in the 87th minute, so there'll be the 3 minutes plus whatever else.
And that's another frustrating part for TFC 2 and head coach Laurent Gaillou and assistant Chris Pozniak is trying to deal with conceding a goal like that. You can't fathom for something like that, and this does happen in soccer.
Well, the opportunities
but it's not like
missed.
Penn FC broke them down.
Right, it's the opportunities missed in the second minute. Malik Johnson going high, looked like a sure shot, opening goal. Ayo Akinola seemingly in all alone here in the second half of play, steps on the ball, just hard luck.
Yeah, and I think defenders, you've worked so hard that sometimes you look to your attackers to bail you out a little bit and create a little bit of offense, and Malik Johnson had a great opportunity 2 minutes into the game. It's a square ball from Sean Hundo, who later was sent off at 42 minutes. Blazed it over top of the bar, but if that goes in, there's over 4,000 fans here. You're looking for your first win. I think it completely changes the outlook of the game. Great square ball from Sean Hundo. Malik Johnson with the net wide open, just got half a yard on his defender. He's got to stick that in. And
ladies and gentlemen, if you can just please stay on the blue track and off of the turf around the outside of the field, remain on the blue track.
So Cavalluzzo is on the stretcher. There's nothing else to say other than we wish him the best. This is bigger than this match being played. Obviously, all the concern is regarding the health of Toronto FC's goalkeeper, Angelo Cavalluzzo.
100%. We
Sean
see
Hundo watching on.
Sean Hundo, who picked up a red card for that high elbow. I've seen it numerous times. I think it was a red the more I see it. You don't like to see players sent off, but the referee gets that one right. But yeah, we wish Cavalluzzo all the best, a speedy recovery, and
as the fans here at Monarch Park and the players on the field clap him off the field, as do the Penn FC players. You never like to see something like this happen in any scenario whatsoever. Angelo Cavalluzzo, we're wishing you the best, buddy. Hang in there. So there's going to be 8 more minutes.
Minimum of 8 minutes of added time.
So 8 more minutes for Toronto FC 2, down 2 men as if all 3 substitutes were already made.
yeah,
Try to find an equalizer. I mean,
we said at
it's a mountain
halftime
to climb.
it was going to be a test of character, and
It's even that much more difficult when you see one of your teammates suffer an injury like that.
it's horrible. It's not a nice feeling at all, and especially such a, okay, never mind, you don't see anybody down, but such a good guy like Cavalluzzo go down.
So Tim Kubel, the right back, is now goalkeeper for Toronto FC.
It looks like he's got his dad's goalkeeper shirt on there.
We saw Nick Haglund with Toronto FC put on the gloves in a desperate situation last year. Did really well. He made a big stop.
I don't want to make light of the Cavalluzzo injury at all, but outfield players, all players fancy themselves as a little bit of a goalkeeper until they probably actually put the gloves on in a professional game.
Buffo tries a shot from distance. No problem for Kubel. Bjornifin. Goal scorer Jaime. Dennis has been very good switching from right to left in the course of this afternoon's match.
He's an interesting player, Dennis. I'd still like to see a little bit more final product from him, but you feel as though when the ball comes to him, something's going to happen. Got pretty good technique for a big man, athletic. The only thing I'd say to him if I was his coach is I haven't seen anything at the end of everything.
Yes.
I want to see crosses. I want to see shots on target.
Poku, there's Dennis. His opportunity to impress Terry. A couple step overs. He's in no hurry whatsoever.
Just sort of flatters to deceive maybe a little bit.
Metzger. Back to Dennis.
Okay, yes, now at this point you're keeping the ball and
Well,
seeing the game out.
You're up 2 men. You've seen what's happened. It's a mature decision. You'll take a chance if it presents itself. If we can hold on here, it'll be Penn FC's 2nd victory of the season. 2nd in the last 5 days. Not a bad return from a very difficult stretch for the team.
Yeah, it was a good points-wise, performance-wise. I think it's been a good little spell for Penn FC. They were unlucky against Ottawa as well to concede late. Easily could have been 7 points out of 3 games.
Venter. Hawkins.
Lewis made some good saves as well in that Ottawa game. He was excellent, the goalkeeper.
You see on the screen 8 minutes of time added on. Of course, that's not coming from the 90, just for you watching at home or wherever you may be. As the Angelo Cavalluzzo injury lasted well into the 90.
The injury sucked any energy out of the game as well. I think both sides are just ready to say, yeah, let's move on.
Right. Kubel, long ball, Steve Akinola. Oh, his flag goes up, offside.
It's good to see Laurent Gaillou stood up.
Oh, he's continuing coaching. He's got a very young group, much work to do.
Yeah,
what's
100%.
very difficult to do is instill a winning mentality in a group that
so young,
still learning how to play with one another.
Yeah, so young, and
M. Casano, Heineman in behind the back line. Heineman, Kubo with the big stop.
Yeah, might have been able to square it there. Dennis was in a good spot. But yeah, I think Laurent Gayou's mandates is to get players into the first team, but also try to climb that league table a little bit if possible.
Dennis, high and wide.
I think that's what I was talking about 5 minutes ago, is he finds himself in gray areas. He very rarely gives the ball away and just sclaffs that over the bar. Could have just passed it into that near post. A little bit petulant from the referee.
Yes.
I think she got the red card right, but had a tough day at the office today. Once you start handing out yellow cards, you just got to call fouls and just hand out too many, and then you lose that consistency.
Dennis.
Good run from midfield.
Buffo slips it past Julian Dunn. And Dunn comes away with it. Good defending right there, getting the best of Prince Buffo. What'd you see from Penn here today, Terry? Obviously, this is something to build off of. They're still continuing this very long road trip right at the start of their season.
Yeah, what I think...
Still a decent side. They've run through a lot of players over the last 2 matches.
Yeah, I think we've seen a squad that's very deep, a squad that's able to make a lot of changes. They're very well organized. 2 steady away center halves. Midfielders that are comfortable on the ball, that'll work hard for one another. I think in Tommy Heineman up top, you've got goals. I think he guarantees you 10 to 15 goals a season. I think it's important that you just try to keep him fit, a little bit selective with games from him, and then you hope your wide players give you something, they develop, and you can just form a little bit of chemistry up top. I think this is a Penn FC side that's still getting better, but this spell of games and picking up 7 points in 5 days will be very important.
I think it's the cutting edge of the attacking third that's going to be critical for this group. 6 goals in 8 games. If this finishes the way it is right now, it's not a great return, Terry.
No, and I think you bring up a good point. Playing against 10 men, you know, one of Cavalluzzo's saves was off a corner. One's a penalty. The goal's a shank into the top corner, if I'm completely honest. And their other attempt was a long shot from Jamie from midfield, so they haven't really broken down TFC2. I think you got to give credit to the back line and the entire squad working hard for TFC2 to not be broken down.
Dennis, can't be more than a minute or 2 left here at.
What I will say though for TFC2 is I think they now have a defensive structure that's good, and they're making teams work hard to get opportunities. They just need to add that attacking edge, that cutting edge in the final third. Need a goal scorer.
There's the final whistle. Heartbreak for Toronto FC to a late goal by Jaime, but thoughts and prayers are with the TFC2 goalkeeper right now, Angelo Cavalluzzo. He's stretchered off. Our utmost concern is with him, but the final score of 3 points goes to Penn FC today. We'll be back to wrap it all up on ESPN+.
Glenn. Humber School. Swanson Jr. Jr. Seychelles Barnier.
A brilliant day for the students here on a school day at Monarch Park in Toronto. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you. Penn FC coming away with a late goal and a 1-0 win over 10-men Toronto FC 2. Terry, let's go straight through some highlights from this afternoon in the second half of play. It was a bend but don't break Toronto FC 2 back line. They did very well. And really, in fairness, that was a penalty that should never have been given, but Angelo Cavalluzzo was up for it.
Yeah, it was a Cavalluzzo show up until his injury in the second half. Great save off of Jamie there. Stopped a Heinemann penalty, and Akinola gets a great chance here. Just Penn FC lost concentration a little bit. Akinola was not able to get the ball out of his feet. Unfortunately, this is the late Jamie goal. It was a cross-come shot that just eluded Cavalluzzo and unfortunately led to what we think could be a bad ankle injury.
Yeah, it was almost, it's the way that that goal was scored just completely against the script. Toronto FC very well structured, and it comes off a cross that was more about providing service than an actual shot on target.
I like that you use the word structure and commitment. I thought TFC, down a man in the second half, came together collectively and made it very difficult for Penn FC, and in the end were only able to score what was really a fluke goal.
Plenty of positives to take away for a young team as well, Terry.
100%. I think there was character, commitment in that second half. Just lacked that cutting edge in the final third again, though, attacking-wise.
Full points, the full 3 points for the visitors. Penn FC on a day in front of over 4,000 students from the Toronto area in attendance. More disappointment for Toronto FC, but above all, we're wishing the best to Angelo Cavalluzzo, the Toronto FC 2 goalkeeper. On behalf of Terry Dunfield, I am Gareth Wheeler. This has been USL Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
A reminder for those still on their seats, if you could do us a favor by cleaning up any garbage in your space and tossing it in the bins on your way to the exit. Thank you.